But also, let's add a little bit more into this. Kyrie Irving has a player option.
Yep.
Kyrie Irving had a player option, but the Mavs still, according to the cap sheet, they don't really owe that much compared to other teams. They're not really crazy over the cap, and it's like I don't understand. Maybe they
Are
just
they committed to crazy money? Like
no, they're not
Clay is
really.
on a team friendly deal.
No, they're
PJ
not.
Washington's on a solid deal.
Yeah,
Lively's on a rookie contract.
Quentin
Garland's on
Grimes
a
on a
team
rookie
favorite
rookie
deal.
contract. Nah,
Omax, Hardy.
no, they actually have bench guys who could contribute that are on minimum deals.
Yeah, I don't think Hardy and Omax are on a crazy deal.
No, there's definitely more to this story than
Yeah.
what we're seeing because the numbers just don't add up. Even if they give Kyrie an extension, um, they weren't gonna go over. Well, you know what? They would have dipped into the tax, but it wouldn't been nowhere near how Phoenix is dipping into the tax. Nowhere near that.
Yep.
It just kind of would have been average for a competing team. But again, they quickly, God, they got rid of this guy for very, very minimum return, man. This is
Peanuts
where
in
all
the
this is
dollar.
confusing. Yeah, they're saying Luka should have been 245 pounds, 240 to 250 should have been his weight. That's
It,
crazy.
it's a it's a bad deal. Um, bro, like I said, it's hard for me to like. In their point of view, it's hard for me to contextualize. The thing is, if I'm Dallas, right? Any smart GM, what you do is you leak the fact you talked to the Lakers and you try to milk out a deal with like Oklahoma or any of those other teams.
Yeah, because they weren't gonna get lowballed anymore than what it was. One pick and AD and an
Dude,
injured
you would have got a
AD.
shit ton from Oklahoma.
Yeah, or even the Rockets could have offered way more than that.
Houston, I mean, dude, you could talk Brooklyn got their picks back. Maybe Brooklyn's like, you know what? Um, we were like Sean Marks. Those guys are good GMs.
Mm-hmm.
The owner, he kind of thought like the previous kind of run was a headache. Maybe he's like, you know what? Let's take another swing at kind of running a good team, kind of figuring it out, and maybe contending with this new franchise player who will be less of a problem as compared to the Kyrie Irving saga.
Yeah, and then speaking of the Kyrie Irving saga, didn't Kyrie really join this team, right? And also, but he's probably planning on a long-term extension with them, with the premise that they'll be competing with Luka. Same thing for Klay Thompson. He
Same thing
chose,
with everyone on that roster.
yeah, they chose, Klay chose the Mavericks over the Lakers. Now the Lakers got Luka. He came because of Luka. They could compete now.
Yep.
This is a blow for Klay because I know Klay wanted to compete and get a ring. It's kind of flex another ring because Klay want that get back. But now it's like fuck. I came down here. I took less money, and Luka is gone.
The Lakers offered more money.
Yeah, the Lakers
We
offered more
forget
money.
that.
Yeah, he took a
Yeah.
pay cut, and now Luka is gone.
Luka was on the team or he took a pay cut from.
But you see the trickle down effect of trading away Luka. It just wasn't even about Luka. It's like there were players there. They came to you to play with Luka, and then even Derek
Yeah.
Lively. You could look at Derek Lively, his maturity, especially last season, like being a rookie, making it all the way to the finals. His decision making, his defense at times, he was progressing really fast because Luka was there. Now you get rid of Luka. Who's really gonna be using Lively in that type of pick and roll sequence? You know what I mean?
So
Like, so
where does Lively fit in this team?
yeah,
Where
not.
does a lot of these guys fit? Because they're perfectly built for him.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is like, man,
There's a trickle down. There's definitely a trickle down. Klay Thompson is there because of Luka. Lively, he fit with the pick and roll with Luka, and then
yep.
now you got him bunched in with Gafford. PJ Washington was getting open. He was like a brand new man, getting shooting those corner threes, shooting
Yeah.
those
PJ
corner
Washington had
threes.
his best debut ever. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you look at the point of view for the Dallas Mavericks. The trade, like basketball sense, it made no sense. Nico Herring can try to make it work. I know he made the argument that, oh, Jason Kidd has coached Anthony Davis before. Yeah, he has. But if you ask Jason Kidd, who's the best player he's ever coached, hands down, Luka Doncic. Like, come on, man. What are we discussing here? You know, I think the Mavericks saved what, 100 something million from last time I read. They saved a lot of money. Just be honest and be much more transparent to your own fan base. You owe them that instead of like kind of slandering a player about his weight, about
Mm-hmm.
his commitment. Because Luca never insinuated that he wanted out.
Now,
And
now,
when
now,
like
I'm gonna shoot Dallas some bail right here. That game 3 in the finals, man, that shit was bad. Now, I remember last season when I saw that game 3, how Luka performed. He really fucked his team over in that game 3. He made it up in game 4, but that game 3 performance was horrible. And I remember thinking to myself, yo, Luka better make sure he is in shape next season. I remember after that game, I was like, whoa, Luka better be in shape next season. And I'm surprised this season he's still kind of going through that roller coaster ride that, they're saying his weight is up 260 plus. And I'm just like, damn, Luka, you really couldn't afford that, especially after that game fucking 3.
you saw him tired.
He tired out, he fouled out, he had some stupid fouls. The Boston Celtics was easily penetrating the Mavericks was because of Luka. Luka was such a weak link. Yo, he made it so easy for the Celtics to penetrate. For Drew Holiday, Tatum, Brown, White, all they had to do is find the side where Luka was at, or whoever was guarding Luka, bring him up and pick and roll. They already played 5 spread out. It was too easy to penetrate. Luka couldn't stay in front of nobody. That shit, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
go back, look at game 3. It was one of the worst performances for a person who was a leader of a team in the finals, man. It was bad, bro. It was bad. And to foul out at the end. And then that was the game that made the Celtics up 3-0. That was such a bad loss. And I was disappointed in Luka for that, but I was like, man, Luka better come back, be in shape, and be ready. And I'm surprised. This could be, what they're kind of hinting at. This is why I'm gonna shoot the Mavs some bail. Like, there were issues with that performance in game 3. It was bad. It was that bad. It was that bad. You could tell lack of being in shape, just lack of focus on defense. It was bad, bro. It was bad. Like, honestly, if Luka's still like that this season, there's no way in hell you could win a championship with him. He could average 50 points in the finals. They're
No,
not
you're not
winning
gonna
like
win a
that.
championship for him.
No way.
But you're more likely to win a championship with him than AD. You know what I mean? Like the Mavericks, it's a good problem to have. The thing is, you kind of hope he figures out. And like I said, okay, the Luca thing, it might not work out, but
Mhm.
you go for a lot more, if that makes sense. I think the new owner does not want to tank because of how much money they're losing, and they don't want to risk a full-on rebuild where people aren't attending games. But if I'm them, right? If I like realistically, if we were them right now, I would have ran to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I would have ran it by them too. I would have
Yeah, I
definitely
would have been
ran
like,
it by them
Oklahoma.
too.
We're making a sell.